Okay, so I'm sitting here thinking about this guy Ren and our little office dynamic. So basically, he's my coworker, but also kind of a thorn in my side. We work together at a small design firm, and Ren's always been a bit of a, let's call him a, free spirit. He's always trying to do his own thing, even if it means stepping on toes. I'm not gonna lie, I've had my share of run-ins with Ren over the years. He's got this annoying habit of showing up late and then acting like he's the only one who's ever had a difficult day. But hey, that's just part of his charm, right? So, despite all the drama he causes, we get along okay. We'll have lunch together sometimes, or grab drinks after work. But there was this one guy, Umar, who changed everything. He's Ren's boss at our company, and let me tell you, that man is a total power-hungry dictator. I'm not even joking, he's got this whole tough love vibe going on, but really it's just a fancy way of saying, I hate working with anyone who doesn't do exactly what I say. Anyway, Umar and Ren have always gotten along famously, or at least, that's how it seemed to us. But behind closed doors, I'm pretty sure they were secretly plotting against each other. And I should know, because I've been on the receiving end of their wrath more than once. The thing is, Umar decided he needed someone to take down Ren for good. So, he turns to me, thinking that's a great idea, take out his favorite employee and get rid of him for good. And what does he do? He goes straight to the CEO of our company and tells him all about how I'm the problem child who needs to be fired. I'm not gonna lie, it was a pretty standard script. You're too independent, or you don't follow orders well enough. You know, the usual corporate jargon for, you're a danger to yourself and others. So basically, they fired me on the spot. No warning, no nothing. Just poof. Me gone. And I'm left standing there in the middle of our office, wondering what just happened. Okay, so that's where things got really weird. Ren comes up to me and starts acting all concerned, like we're old friends or something. Hey, Esme, what's going on? He asks, his voice dripping with fake sincerity. And I'm like, you know exactly what's going on, Ren. I stare at him, trying to gauge the sincerity behind those concern-filled eyes. Does he really think this is just a coincidence that our company's CEO happens to be my ex-boyfriend? The same guy who's been stalking me online for months? Listen, Ren, I say, my voice firm but measured. I know you're just trying to make a good impression here, but let's get one thing straight, I'm not buying it. You're the one who's been feeding Umar all these, let's call them, concerns about me. Ren takes a step back, his eyes darting around the office as if he's searching for an escape route. I didn't know what was going on, Esme, he stammers. Umar just told me that you were making some bad decisions and that I should speak up. Bad decisions? I repeat, incredulous. You're talking about my decision to stand up for myself when someone was trying to bully me? When Umar was doing the bullying, not me. Ren's face turns bright red as he tries to backtrack. But it's too late, the damage is done. I can see the guilt written all over his face. Just then, the CEO walks back into the room, a smug look on his face. So, Esme, he says, it seems we've reached an understanding. You're out of here. I'm about to give him a piece of my mind when Ren jumps in. Hey, wait a minute, he says, his voice dripping with insincerity. Maybe we should have a talk about this. Maybe there's more to the story than what Umar told me. The CEO raises an eyebrow, clearly intrigued by Ren's sudden interest in my case. Oh. Do tell. I roll my eyes and turn away from them both, but not before I catch a glimpse of something in Ren's expression that makes my blood run cold, a sinister grin, hiding behind his innocent facade. And then, just as I think things can't get any weirder, Umar walks into the room with a smirk on his face. Hey, guys, he says, oblivious to the tension. What's going on? I take a deep breath and turn back to him, my mind racing with possibilities. My eyes lock onto Umar's, and for a moment, I'm frozen in shock. He knows more than he's letting on, but what? How much did Ren tell him? And why is he here now? Umar takes a seat next to me, his expression casual, but I can sense the weight of his gaze on me like a physical force. Just having a chat with Ren about our conversation, I say, trying to keep my tone neutral. Ren's eyes flicker between us, and for an instant, I see a glimmer of guilt before he covers it up with a forced smile. Yeah, we were just discussing how Esme here was unfairly targeted by the company. The CEO leans forward, his expression skeptical. I think there may have been some miscommunication, he says, but before he can continue, Umar interrupts. I understand why this happened, believe me, Umar says, his voice dripping with false empathy. We've all been through tough times at work, and sometimes people get caught in the crossfire. I feel a spark of anger ignite within me, but I bite back my retort. What's going on here? Is Umar trying to spin this as some kind of conspiracy against him? And why is Ren playing along? The CEO leans back in his chair, steepling his fingers together. I think we've gotten off track, he says. Esme, do you want to explain what happened from your perspective? But before I can even begin to untangle the mess, Umar speaks up again, his voice laced with a subtle menace. Actually, I think it's time someone else told their side of the story. He glances at Ren, and for an instant, we lock eyes in a silent understanding that makes my skin crawl. What have they cooked up together? And how far will they take this? The room falls silent, the only sound the soft hum of the air conditioning unit. The CEO's eyes dart between Umar and me, but he seems unsure of what to do next. And then, just as I think things can't get any worse, Ren stands up, a smile spreading across his face like a slow-moving virus. A smile that makes my stomach twist with nausea. I'd love to share my perspective, he says, his voice dripping with sincerity. You see, Esme and I have been working together on a project for months, and I've had the pleasure of getting to know her outside of work. He takes a step closer to me, his eyes gleaming with an unsettling intensity. We bonded over our shared passion for innovation and creativity. We'd often grab lunch together and discuss our ideas for the company's new product line. I feel like I'm trapped in some kind of twisted nightmare, unable to move or escape. How can Ren be so calm and collected when he knows exactly what he's doing? He's a master manipulator, using his charm and charisma to turn me against my former colleagues. Umar leans back in his chair, a satisfied smirk spreading across his face. It seems Esme had no idea about the great work we were doing together, he says, his voice dripping with sarcasm. No wonder she was so blindsided by her own incompetence. The CEO's expression darkens, and for a moment, I think he's going to lose it. But then, something strange happens. He turns to Ren and asks, what exactly were you two working on together? Ren launches into a detailed explanation of our supposed collaboration, leaving out all the crucial details about how Umar had been sabotaging my work and manipulating me from behind the scenes. As I listen, my mind reels with anger and betrayal. How could Ren have let Umar use him like this? And what does he plan to do now that he's implicated in my firing? The CEO listens intently, his eyes narrowing as he scribbles some notes on a pad of paper. When Ren finishes speaking, he looks up at me with an unyielding gaze. Esme, he says, his voice firm and authoritative. I think it's time for you to explain the real reason behind your termination. My heart sinks as I realize that Umar's plan is to turn the tables on me. I take a deep breath, preparing myself for the worst. It was Ren who was working against me, I begin, my voice shaking with emotion. He's been sabotaging my work and feeding false information to the CEO. Ren's eyes widen in shock, and he takes a step back, as if slapped by the accusation. Umar's face twists into a mixture of anger and surprise, but his composure remains intact. The CEO leans forward, his expression unreadable. Go on, he says, his voice low and even. I continue, recounting every detail of how Ren manipulated me, using our supposed partnership to gain my trust and get me in trouble. I explain how Umar fed me misinformation about the company's plans, telling me that the CEO was planning to shut down the department, when in reality it was all a ruse to make him look incompetent. As I speak, I can see the truth dawning on Ren's face. He looks like he's been punched in the gut, and his eyes are welling up with tears. Umar, on the other hand, remains smug, his smile growing wider as he watches me get dismantled. The CEO listens attentively, his expression unchanging. When I finish, he nods thoughtfully. It seems we have a bit of a situation on our hands, he says, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Ren, it appears you've been playing both sides against each other. This is unacceptable behavior. Umar's smile falters, and he takes a step back, looking like the worm that I know he is. The CEO turns to Ren. And you, Esme, have been burned by your supposed friend's betrayal. You deserve better than this. I feel a sense of vindication wash over me as the CEO turns his attention back to Umar. Umar, it seems we need to reevaluate our priorities around here. Your actions have caused irreparable harm to your colleagues and the company. I'm afraid that's going to be enough reason for you to lose your job. As the CEO spares Ren from the worst of it, but still fires him, I feel a mix of emotions, anger, hurt, and relief. But one thing is certain, I won't let Umar get away with this without consequences. And honestly, I still wonder how I ended up like this, played by two people who thought they were above the law.